Welcome back to Grow with Angie. I want to give you all an update on the cattle panel trellises and how it's going. We're in the middle of June and everything is planted, and we are out here usually all weekend long and then just water throughout the week. So you can see down on the ground, we have put down a lot of cardboard. This is a really great use of your extra cardboard from Amazon, Sam's Club, Walmart, wherever you're getting those boxes. Go ahead and save those. What this does is it holds down the weeds underneath of the cattle panels. Once everything is shaded, then this probably won't be a weed problem. And then the rest of the garden, we're either tilling it by hand or we have a rototiller that we can come out and clean up the dirt around. Let's take a closer look and we'll walk around and I'll show you where we are with the cattle panels. Let's start with the squash and the zucchini. They are doing really well. We have beautiful leaves. We are adding a lot of Miracle-Gro food to the plants. We also have like a trench dug into the dirt. There are soaker hoses up underneath, and so we can just kick on the soaker hoses and it's only watering the plants that we want watered. That's another way to keep down your weeds, is by letting everything just dry in the middle of the garden, and it kind of stars the weeds out. But when we have a big rain, it's really hard to keep the weeds under control. But these are doing really well, and we're just again coming out and really pulling on the leaves and encouraging them to go into the cattle panels. And once the zucchinis and the squash start to grow, we can kind of start flipping them up over top of the trellises, and it will allow them to hang up on top and grow down. That will be much easier for us to pick and harvest at a later date. This whole cattle panel, both sides are the beans, and they are pole beans, which means that they do want to crawl up a pole. So they are very much like the sugar snap peas. They want to twist and wind around, and they're doing really well. You can see them coming all the way up here, and this one is all the way here. So between both sides, we're hoping in probably about another month or so, they will be up over top. And these were all started by seed, and it just takes a little bit of time to get them really established. But once they do and they get a hold of your poles, then they're gonna take off, and you just get to watch the growth every time you come out. It's very fun. We're really happy with how these are looking. They're very, very healthy. So between both sides of this cattle panel, we should have a lot of beans. Now let's go take a look at the sugar snap peas. These are the sugar snap peas. You can see how tall they're getting up the trellis already. And I use little twist ties or garden ties to gently wrap the peas and keep them going up the trellises. And they're very strong and sturdy, and they're grabbing a hold of the trellis really well. Also, you can see these stakes, and it does look messy right now. These are what you would use for snow plowing stakes, for marking off your driveway or your road. And we just shoved them through a lot of the cardboard because we've had some really windy days, and it takes a while for your cardboard to start breaking down, getting soft from all the different rain and kind of starting to decompose. So at this point, it's just holding them down into the ground, but we don't have to worry about them blowing up and destroying any of the plants. These are the rows of our tomatoes. What we did with these cattle panels is just cut them in half and put them straight up. There was no bending or twisting of these. Very, very easy to put these in, and the tomato plants are just going across. And then again, every couple of days as they grow, we're coming out and gently wrapping leaves throughout the cattle panels to just encourage them to continue to grow upward and not fall downward. And this is also going to be very easy to come out and pick the tomatoes, and we already have lots and lots of flowers that are coming in. We probably overplanted the tomatoes this year, but there's so much that you can do with them, with just canning them, making spaghetti sauces, making salsas. We really do love having our tomatoes. Some of the other things that we have in the garden that do not need to be trellised, they don't need the support, is our cabbage heads, our cauliflower, our broccoli are all in these rows, as well as all of the peppers. So we have green bell peppers, carnival peppers, and jalapeno peppers. And you can see by these big mounds, what we do is build the mound or the dirt up over top of them, and that helps us go around and just water right into the base. So we'll take a watering can at that point and also sprinkle in any of the food nutrients, and then you're not again watering the ground, watering where all of your weeds would be. It keeps it very much just around the plant. All along the back area are the watermelon and the pumpkin, and we're going to encourage them to just go up the normal fencing around the garden. Over here is all of the asparagus. Once we pick the asparagus, we let it go to flowering and let it actually drop its seeds. And you want to do that with your asparagus for probably about 5 to 7 years. It takes a long time for the asparagus to really come in and set hold. All along here, it looks like a lot of weeds, and we actually have a lot of weeds to go through, but buried in here are rows and rows of carrots. If you are interested in watching how we started the cattle panel trellis, watch this one here. I thought I'd end the video by, chickens. Hi, girls.